Are we live?
We might be live. 1 second. Boys, Canoga Park, California, April 7th, 2022, 2LaneLIVE Studios HQ, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully no internet interruptions today. What's up?
Sounds like we have a motorcycle pulling in the lot here, so we might end up with a head popping in. Who knows?
Well, I'm really excited about this show. We've known Leticia for a few years now. Awesome. Say what?
Saying turn the TV down because I hear a
you see
echo.
the TV.
There you go.
She does a lot of incredible things, and she's got a busy life, and she's going to share that with us.
Yeah, I think we officially met her at the unveiling of the Harley's no longer going to have a Dyna motorcycle.
Oh,
when
yeah.
They introduced the lowrider.
Yeah.
At the museum there.
Peterson Museum?
I think it was. So very cool. And we're just excited. She said yes, and will join us here today. We actually met her last year when we were doing the Milwaukee to Maine trip.
Yeah.
We had the wives there, and we were staying in Milwaukee at the hotel, and she came bopping out of a car, and we drug her down and started waving at her, and we got a nice picture with her, which was great.
Well, hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell your friends to do the same thing.
So a couple things before we jump her in. Make sure you look at that Wednesday drop yesterday. We're getting some love on that. We're also getting some people that are, throwing their 2 cents in to make sure we have torque wrenches.
I love it.
And other things. But great drop there. And then we did a little something different yesterday. I think you put a post up on your Instagram, but we put you in a Jeep, gave you a Cardo Systems headset, wired in the GoPro, and Josh and I were on the bikes, and we showed them kind of a day in the life of when we do a drop, and you'll be seeing that. And then we drove down to Duke's and had lunch. So
it was great.
Kind of a cool day.
And just to be clear, they didn't put me in the Jeep. I kind of got in the Jeep myself.
No, we put him in the Jeep. Trust me, it's a process.
Right. Well, let's get going.
Yeah, is Brett from Bell going to join us too?
I think Brett from Bell might join us because he's known Leticia for a long time as well.
Awesome.
I mean, Leticia races. She does everything. So she needs helmets as well.
Yeah, let's let her talk about that.
All right. And without further ado, we are live.
Yeah, hi, guys. You're making me laugh there.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, we know you're on a busy schedule, and you just flew into Missouri. So thank you for doing this today. We'll be with you for an hour or so, and we just want to talk about how incredible of a female you are, of a mother you are, just an overall great person.
Well, thank you so much for that. I'm really honored that you guys actually asked me to be on the show. I'm excited.
Hopefully, well, we're honored to have you.
And we're going to set up a ride with you in October. But we need to meet not only your sister, but you put up a picture the other day, I think, with your mom and sister.
Yes. So I own a bar with my mom and my sister, and that's interesting and so fun, and it works. It's great. We own a little dive bar in a small town. And
we love dive bars in small town. I got to tell you that right now.
Yep, we're the best. And ours used to be a church, so we're kind of like a neon church now.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I also like the statement you were making there, how small business, especially in small towns. And we just did a whole showcase on Seligman Oatman and really tried to promote those restaurateurs, those shop owners, the historians. Mm-hmm. With the travel being the way it's been the last couple of years, they've been down 85%. And we know the same effects. I mean, we're only a 2-year-old business. And as a banker, we used to say, if you make it past 3, you're probably in pretty good shape. And so I loved your post about that as well.
Yeah, that was actually cool. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it is, it comes with its challenges, having a small business, but then going through what we've been through in the last couple of years, pandemics and whatnot, and then in small towns makes it a little harder because, I've got 2,500 people that live in my town. And even though it's a tourist town and off season, I've got just a few of those core audience that's got to keep us alive. So it's had its struggles, but it's been the best challenge, the most rewarding challenge I think that I've done to date.
What town is it again?
Yeah, I was going to say, talk a little bit about the town and the attraction, the caves and stuff that are there.
Sure. It's Cave City, Kentucky. I was born and raised there, and it's Mammoth Cave National Park. So it's the longest cave in the world. It's almost 500 discovered miles long.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah. In my town, I have, like 5 major roads that go through my town. And so our traffic totals are really high. So we get over 1 million people that come to my town every year for the season.
Wow.
Wow. And we're going to be one of those million, because we're going to come and we're going to bring our bikes, and we're going to let you show us all these great attractions and share it with everybody.
Yeah, just be ready to go underground, because we're going caving. We got like over 600 caves in my town.
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, we really like exploring stuff like that. We've been to the Carlsbad Caverns. We've been to the Grand Canyon Caverns. I want to get these guys. There's an incredible spot in Utah where I grew up. There's Timpanogos Caves.
Yeah.
I'd like to get them up there. But yeah, we'd love to do that.
Well, I'd love for you guys to come and see it. And I believe in my hometown. I didn't live there for 18 years. I would go back and visit it, but then when I moved back, I knew that there was so much potential, and I wanted to do what I did in the rest of the world, but for my town. And so that's what I do now. I have a bar. I'm on city council and throw these big events, and I just try to do everything.
Well, that's awesome. And when you did move back, and I was watching your Instagram, and I'm going, I got to do things at my house, like fix the floor or do this. And I'm thinking about it going, I don't know how to do that. I'm going, look at Leticia. She's like doing all this stuff that I wish I could do at my house.
YouTube. If I don't know, this is me at 4 a.m. I'm on my phone. I'm like, how do you, miter cut, molding? Like, I know it sounds crazy, but that's me. I've just got these 2 old buildings that I want to refinish and on a shoestring budget. And I'm like, how do I figure this out? Like, I could do it with my motorcycle. Like, I could totally figure it out with a building. So that's what I've been doing.
Well, what's crazy to me is I saw you build the bar, and then you'd put a post up. I think it was those 2 buildings that you were talking about that, if anyone was interested, it would make for a good retail shop or something along those lines. And at that time, I was still a banker, and I reached out to you and said, hey, I'm interested in that. And then like a couple weeks later, a month later, what have you, I see you are now renovating them. And it's like, so she went from trying to help, to get these things sold to actually getting in and putting a shop in. It was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Well, nobody was doing it. So I was just thinking, you know what, I'm going to build the town that I want to live in, because there was really nothing down there. And I was like, what do we need? You need a drinking establishment, you need restaurants, you need retail. And I wanted to do that. And then with me and my connection to the motorcycle world, where I live is some amazing, beautiful roads. I'm not but like 3.5 hours from the Blue Ridge Parkway and the Tail of the Dragon, but also I'm in a national park. So the roads around there are gorgeous, and they're not promoted. So they're not traffic, there's not a lot of motorcycle traffic on them. So it's great. So I was like, I can create this experience, and maybe I can bring all my motorcycle friends into town, and we can just make this cool.
And that's the cool thing. It's like, I'm already excited knowing that we're going to come there and see this stuff, and we're going to be able to ride our bikes, film it, show what you've done. And it's like, I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, I am too, but I think it says a lot about kind of who you are. It sounds like you left the place for a little bit of time, and boy, when you came back, you sure came back full force by creating a business and more business for the town, and then jumping in. What drove you to get into the city council?
Paying taxes. So I was like, where the hell's all my money going? And sure, it's going where I think it should. And so I just started digging into it. And then I thought, the best thing, there's that saying, you can, what is it? Have a seat at the table, or you can be the meal on it. And I wanted to. So I was like, how do I get in here and make sure that things happen in the right way? The whole reason why I've invested, literally broke my back building stuff is because I believe in my hometown. I believe in the people in it. And I just thought, I've got to take that a step further and ensure that we do the proper things to have great opportunities there. What brought me home, though, was a buffalo. And it was, so my knee was kind of taken out in Sturgis riding through Custer State Park. And I came home to have surgery. And while I was recovering, I was bored. And my dad had an old motorcycle garage, and I went up there. My actually grandmother owned the property at the time, and I went up there and I was like, well, I'm just going to renovate this so I can work on my bikes, you know? And when I opened up the doors, all of his friends started passing by, and they'd stop and they'd walk in. They're like, I haven't been in this place for 10 years, because at that time he'd been gone for 10 years. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to open up a free community garage then. And that's what we did. And that garage, Smiley's, like made me fall in love with my town and my people again, because I'd been gone for a long time. And you know, and it was that sense of community that made me want to do more. So then it went from there to a bar, to a big retail space, to city council, and possibly mayor. And that's
Yeah,
See,
you're gonna run for mayor, it sounds like.
But what you just said, that story that you just said of why is like the energy and the passion to do something. I mean, it's kind of like when we wanted to do this, we had careers, we had things we were doing, and we said, let's do this.
Yeah.
And we put all this into it. But everything that you went back for is why we go out to share with the other people across America, because there's great people out there. But if you have a will, the energy, the desire, you make it happen. And that's what you did. And that's what we do with the 2Lane. And we want to bring it into people's living rooms.
Well, the narrative has changed so much the last couple of years. And arguably, when we started this business, we were just repeating the rides that we had been on and trying to share those stories that we find in these small towns, hence the 2 lanes.
Right.
And, you know, it's just so different than what we're seeing on normal television, what is called normal television, I guess. And yeah, it's just admirable to see you do that. And when you say you fell in love with your town again, that's our deal. We want people to fall in love with America again. And we think that's one of the ways to do that is through going on vacation in these smaller towns that are less traveled, because the people that we meet are just like you, opening your garage to the community, and then are invested in the community. And so they want people to come spend some money there.
Right. Well, our thing is we want to shake hands with America. And the great thing about that is we have friends across the country now just from going to these places that actually are the structure of America, like you. Leticia, you've inspired us, me, whatever. You're making me want to travel and share more.
Well, I love that you guys are doing that. I mean, that's such an important story to tell. And the fact that you guys are going out on the back roads to these small towns and sharing what they're all about is really what's going to help, is one of the ingredients that does help America, save America. You know, I always say, and people don't think about it, but in a small town, every dollar that's spent, it generates 7 times before it ever leaves a county line. So like, it's really important to bring economy and awareness and people to these little towns, because it's the heartbeat of America. And without it, literally America dies. I mean, most of our industry is from these small towns. Most of our military comes from these small towns. Our innovation, our creativity, like all of it from time.
And they truly are great. We've met so many great people of all kinds of, it just blows my mind what's out there.
Yeah.
We've met people from guys that tell us how far they've ridden on their side-by-sides by the number of beers they've drank, to telling us the triangle of the San Francisco peaks and that whole, I mean, it's just, the stories are endless, and it's fun to actually go out and talk to people and film them and see them on camera, and the characters that come out of them. It's been pretty cool the last couple of years. But talk a little bit about, you said the buffalo, like when we saw you at the museum, you still had the brace on. So you were just cruising around. How many bikes have you owned?
I just have like 5 right now, but I don't know, over the years, like going through everything. I mean, it's not much. I mean, I'd say like 25 or something like that. But the buffalo, was just in Sturgis. It was I was there. I had a day off, and I was like, I'm gonna ride through Custer State Park, and I put my bike in neutral because all these buffalo were out there. I mean, I don't know. You guys have probably ridden through it, you know.
Yep.
So they were all out there, and I put my bike in neutral. I was kind of coasting down a hill, and I had my phone, and I'm like, I'm gonna, you know, I'm like riding, and I'm like taking a picture. So I got a picture of the guy, and then I put my phone down, and it kind of like moves, and I'm like, it's not gonna charge me, is it? And it takes off. And I'm like, so I put my bike in gear, but there's all these people on the road that stopped in their cars and stuff, so I can't like really get on it. And I guess the rangers who are on horseback, this happens. So they saw it and they're charging towards it. So the buffalo comes, it like hits the side of my bike. I go down, and instinct is to put my leg down to stop it, right? Well, that was the worst thing to do. So it just like hyperextended. My leg was just so blown out, but I didn't know it because of shock. So I just get up. I'm really mad. I just got that Dyna. I'm like, get my bike, get my bike. There's actually a video of that. And then snap my leg in place, and I sit down for a while, and then I get on my bike and ride. And when I stop, it's 16A, that little road that goes up the backside of Mount Rushmore. So I stop to look at Mount Rushmore and the sunset, and I go to get off my bike, and I fall because at that point, shock had worn off and my knee was just blown out. And so I knew then that I didn't have anything there holding my kneecap in place, which was true. And so I had surgery. And then it was an MCL, meniscus, hamstring, and ACL. And then 9 months later, I was in Thailand riding, and the one day I didn't wear my brace, we had a diesel spill, like 4 of us went down, and it was my leg, and it was gone again. So here's my ACL again. So I have my doctor loves and hates me.
Well, we were in Yellowstone, and we had a big bison dance, and it kind of freaked out. It was on the side of the road, but it backed up. It didn't charge us, luckily. But we got to clarify that you were hit by a bison. Yes,
a bison. Sorry, not a buffalo. I always say buffalo because most people think that. But yes, a bison, not a big one.
Why are you pointing at the television?
I don't know.
Don't get in between Lance and his bison.
Yeah.
Hey, so I thought I read somewhere, did your father teach you to ride? And you've been riding since you were a youngster, haven't you?
Yes, my whole life. So my dad built bikes in the living room of our house. I don't know why. I think he just, I don't know, maybe it was, we didn't have a garage at the time, but all my baby pictures are on motorcycles or helping him. I'm playing with tools. It was totally safe back then. And, but then so I started riding when I was 4 on a little dirt bike, and then with training wheels, and then just kind of racing little circuits when I was 6. And then just loved it ever since. But at that time it was totally different. And I started modeling when I was 13. And it was really weird to, like, no one could understand that combination. It was like, oh, you're a model and you ride motorcycles. And my agent, because I had an agent, because I modeled for a lot of companies at that time, and they were like, would make me sign contracts that I wouldn't ride a dirt bike because there was no motor shop back then. So I would show up to shoots and I'd be bruised from fucking head to toe, you know. And like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? And I'm like, I don't know, make it cool, you know. Like, that's my. No one wanted to promote me that way, so. I always say, like, modeling ruined my motorcycle career, and motorcycling ruined my modeling career. And so, like, later to where it
no cake cool. And eating at the same time, huh?
Well, I mean, you raced in the X Games as well, right?
Yes, yeah, I did. And you know what? That was an awesome opportunity with Harley, and I'm really grateful for them for giving me that spot. You know, they can't. I rode there. We'd been talking about doing some deals for a while, and there was, you know, nothing solidified. And I was at Sturgis, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ride there and knock on their door. And so I rode like 900 miles or something, I think that is, and went there. And they were like, what the hell are you doing here? I was like, well, I want a decision. Are we working together or not? And so they're like,
awesome.
Yeah. And they're like, do you want to do a race team, Hooligan race team? I was like, yeah, I'm like that. I'm not that great, but I'll try. And so, you know, I thought that I was like, you know what, here's a way to get women in the industry. So I was like, I'll create a female race team, and in each race I'll have a different female. And I got another bike. And so I had 2 race bikes. And that was just so awesome to be able to promote the motorcycling industry, to get more people in it, and diversity, and then be at X Games, like, was a mind, just totally blew my mind.
Was that some flat track as well?
Yeah, that was flat track. That was Hooligan flat
Yep.
track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Well-
was something that I fell in love with. Roland Sands introduced me to that. And I remember I was going out, we were at Paris in California, and I was like, I've never done it before. What do I do? He's like, well, if you see the wall, turn left. And I was like, great. So I did it, and I like did it. I was so addicted. I did it all day, and then like it was night, and they turned on the lights, and I just didn't want to get off the track. I was like, this is amazing. And then I wanted to do it forever from then on out, you know?
Well,
That's
you
awesome.
can get moving on those dirt tracks. It's pretty crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, there was one race we did in Georgia where we were our leathers because it was a mile. So I think it was a mile. I'm trying to think now because we've been all over, but a mile clay track, which is very dangerous because your speeds can get it, you know,
Yeah.
really up
Do
there.
you still race or no? Is it done?
So my left leg is completely just, I don't have anything holding the kneecap in. So I can't use that for flat track. And
Oh.
but ever since then, I've been drag racing a little bit. I have a beach bend, which is a big drag race for NHRA. So I'll go down there and get out my competitive side.
When do you have time for this kind of stuff?
I don't know. I don't have time for sleep. But I got time for everything else.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were in Sturgis?
When I got hit by a buffalo.
Oh, so it was back then.
Yeah, so like 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think we were there that same time it happened. We heard it happen.
Yeah.
And I love Sturgis. You know what I love? Have you guys been to Laconia? Have you been there?
We haven't.
Oh, I love that rally. So it's the oldest one, but the riding there is unbelievable. So I was thinking about going to that one this year, and then maybe
Where's Laconia?
New York.
Oh, New York.
New Hampshire.
Or it's New Hampshire.
Yeah, but it's just unbelievable riding. So I'm thinking of hitting up some spots this year. It seems like as if I've not been to many rallies as I used to go to, but I'm still very active in the motorcycle industry, just a little more behind the scenes.
And that one's like September-ish, isn't it?
They moved it. I thought it was June, but I think they moved. COVID has made everything weird.
Right.
I mean, it seems like everything's been pushed back or changed their dates. So
Because we've had a lot of people invite us to go out there, and we had driven and been around kind of the East Coast, but when we went last year on the bikes that Harley let us use, the Maine, the New Hampshires, the New Yorks, all that upstate, up north, we need to get back there because it's just spectacular. It's so beautiful.
yeah, it is. It's gorgeous, and
Especially on a motorcycle.
I love going anywhere on a motorcycle. And, you
Yeah.
know, and then you end up in these places and you're like, your mind gets blown all the time. We call our motorcycles time machines because we go back in time, especially on the 2 lanes.
mm-hmm,
And you go into these small towns that have this history.
mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like, hey, we're time travelers.
You are. I love that. I always said a motorcycle is like, so in a car, it's like watching a movie, right? You've got the screen and everything's happening in front of you. Motorcycle is like being in the movie. It's all visceral. It's like you get to smell the smells and feel the
Right.
wind, and I just love it too. So I want to ask you guys. I know you're interviewing me, but where's your favorite place that you've been, and then where is it that you've always wanted to go?
Well, it's funny. We were trying to make a video about that this coming week while we're not able to travel quite as much while Lance is healing up.
Yeah.
So we got the hard drives out, the whole 2-lane vault, and we're like, all right, what are our top 3 places we went even last year? And just picking that was impossible.
Yeah.
I think everywhere we go is pretty incredible because we try to stay on the back roads as much as possible, but it's so hard to pick one. But I will tell you this: I would love to get across the pond and ride in Australia. I'd like to get over and ride in. Love to do the Swiss Alps. Get across and get into some other countries. I'd love to get up into Canada and ride around Glacier and all that. But
Yeah.
man, it's hard. Like the East Coast there was so many incredible things that we saw there. But then Route 66, there were so many incredible things. It's just And for some reason, we have this affinity. We love to go to Arizona and southern Utah, and so
Yeah.
it's just hard. I mean, Zion, Bryce,
Yeah.
Escalante.
I love everywhere we've been, but my heart always finds Arizona and southern Utah, and I could see actually moving there one day because I love the rock formations and the red. I like that scenery, and I like it all year round because you get to see all the different changes constantly. So
Yeah.
And speaking of Utah, I guess you're working with Legend, the museum there, right?
I am. So that's a new venture for me. And, I love it. I get to be around literally some of the rarest bikes in the world. And
oh yeah,
I think most people know me from like newer motorcycles, but I really love history and I love where things started and the origination of things. And, if you take any of these motorcycles that were turn of the century where they only produced, 15 of them or for a few years, and just seeing what these guys were doing in their garages, like their personal garages, and what they created is just unbelievable. And the fact that Rick, the owner of Legends, has preserved these and keeping this story alive and safe is just an honor to be a part of that. And so and he's created this amazing compound. You guys have been out there, so you know what it is. It's a brewery, a cafe, a museum, there's a mercantile shop, there's pizza, there's all this stuff. And then he's doing this motorcycle ride that's in September. So it's cross country, 20 days, 16 cities, 8 states. And it's on motorcycles of, 1930 and younger, older. So we're, doing that in September, and I've never been involved in a ride of that nature. I've always done, rides for charity or whatnot, but this is unbelievable to think that there's a bike that's like 100 years old riding that they're over 3,000 miles. It's insane that these can still do that. And I think it says a lot, not only for the bike, but the guys who decide to do it.
Well, and what's the top speed when you're cruising across the country going like, what, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour?
40 sometimes. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's like, it takes forever to get 200 miles. And, and these bikes are not easy to ride. I mean,
no,
it's like, yeah, you're riding a fucking broomstick across.
You're going to be beat up when you're done.
Rigid and they break down. And so you gotta know your bike and be able to fix it to stay on the road.
Yeah. So any of the viewers out there, if you go back into our channel, you can see us at the Legend Museum filming
and
inside
I'll have
there.
to tell you, they treated us like we didn't even know them. I talked to them over the phone a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick was like, just get them
like
beers.
family. It was amazing.
Yeah, they're great. So the ride is called Legends and Legacies, which I love because, there's so many legends that made it possible for us to do what we do today, especially on motorcycling. And then we all want to leave a legacy behind. So and these guys that ride these roads are legends in their own right. And I think it's, it's cool to be able to work on this project.
Wow.
Well, you're leaving you'll be leaving an incredible legacy when you're done.
Right.
With all this stuff you're doing.
Y'all need to call me every day and make me feel good. I love it.
So how old is your son now?
We're on the same.
19, and he'll be 20.
So does he sit back and go, Mom, you are really incredible?
Oh, you know what? So when I was racing, I was going to show you a video. When I was racing, he one day told me, he was like, I really worry about you, Mom. I'm tired of worrying about you. And I was like, and I get it. And I was like, I know I'm not like a traditional mom, but he was like, but it's also the coolest life I've ever had, because since he was little, he went to every race with me. I used to commentate on all the motocross, supercross, and GNC racing at that time. So we were on the road all the time, and he was just around it. So he's been riding a dirt bike. I kept the tradition alive. I got him his first bike when he was 4 years old. He's been riding ever since. He sent me this video of him like doing wheelies, which I have bad service. He was doing wheelies on a dirt bike the other day. He just got a new one. And I was like, oh my God, I created a monster. Of course, and I don't know if Brett's listening to this. But I just wanted to say he had a bicycle helmet on because he couldn't find his other helmet. So I overnighted him my Moto Flex 9. I was like, "You're wearing this helmet. You got to wear it. You can't do that." So I'm the mom that says ride a dirt bike and do wheelies, but be safe.
Has Brett commented on there, or
We had a
not
couple
yet.
comments.
I don't know.
There was a guy.
I don't know if Brett's tried to text my phone, which is laying on the floor. I sent him the
I'll
link.
check it out. You don't have a password.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we did have a comment from Chris Lamp, who I guess is a buddy of yours from Cave City.
Well, he's not from Cave City. He's from Alabama. But so Chris rode up, never drove. He's ridden the whole time. He rides everywhere. And
I like that.
He came and support. He's right. I worked my ass off for that town. And he's come and supported. He's donated for Smiley's, a lot of tools and parts, my air compressor that I still use. And has come up and brought people to the bar, and and I just love that. I love what this community is all about and how we all take care of each other and understand the lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, we love that too. I mean, this is how we have you on the show. I
Right.
mean, you're supporting us, and we love it, and we thank you for that, and we're going to pay it forward to others as well. It's just I can't begin to tell you how much inspiration and how many incredible comments we've gotten over the last 2 years. Everywhere from people that don't ride to people that are, challenged in wheelchairs, and it just goes on, and it's just so amazing what this community, especially when we put our minds together, what it can do, and the support and help it can give each other. It's just, we got to leverage it.
Well, we met a guy named Aaron Baker. I don't know if you know who he is. He used to race 20 some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Good looking, positive attitude guy. He was paralyzed from the neck down. He went through some hardships. You'll never walk. You'll never do this. Well, we're going on a trip with him in a couple weeks to Carmel, Big Sur. He built his own 3-wheeler. He has a child, a wife. He loves his life. He helps so many people, and he rides.
Oh, wow.
We would have never met him if
And
we
he
weren't
walks, and he's
And he
walked
walk-
across Death Valley, and he's ridden bicycles across the country.
the whole
twice.
country. Yes.
I mean, it's just mind over matter, and that's really what
Yeah.
he's got, kind of this process that he went through. And you got to have a great attitude, and you've got to have a strong mental attitude,
Mhm.
even in the hard times.
Yeah.
you
So
know?
here's the
Pick it up.
guy
Yeah,
that we met. He's a friend of ours now.
another community thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I love that. I love how motorcycles are always said as like an icebreaker. You know what it's like every time you pull up to a gas station, right?
Well, yeah.
How many amazing conversations have you gotten into because someone's like, well, I used to have one of those, or I used to ride a Bonneville in 73. And
So many. I mean, we had a phrase that we use. We're here to inspire you, to show you how to get out and find the open road.
yeah,
We've gotten so much inspiration from people that watch our stuff that they've actually inspired us to do more.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that. That's exactly. And also too, anytime you do anything challenging on a motorcycle, I feel like in life, it makes everything easier. So,
Yeah.
one of the things I think of is one time from Laconia, I was at that motorcycle rally. I was like, well, I'm going to do an iron butt on my way home. And I did an iron butt, but in the meantime, I stopped and I hiked a waterfall. I called it like an Ironman iron butt. And, but after I did that, that was my first iron butt. And I was like, well, what else can I do? it just gave me this confidence level. And then it was like, I'll do this. And then I did 2 iron butts back to back. And I was like, well, so but that wasn't just, I didn't apply that to just motorcycling. I applied it to other things in my life. So there was any other challenges, I was like, remember that time you rode through a hurricane?
Right.
You got this. You can do this,
So is there any brothers there, or is it just you and your sister?
No, I have an older half brother. He lived in California most of his life, but he lives in Kentucky now. And
No way.
yeah, I know. I love it. So we all hang out. He's a pool shark. We're very competitive. Actually, I don't know if y'all know, but I was Tui Richland. I used to be a pool shark back in the
There
day.
you go.
Wow.
So, But we
Nice.
We're
I
just seeing that
know.
now. There's a little bit of a delay for us, but I was just the reason for the question was more about like I see 3 powerful women in your family, and I've seen you put up a post at one point where your sister was over the bar.
yeah.
Like you guys don't take any shit.
Fuck no. We can't take any shit because I mean we it's hard enough owning a bar, so you're dealing with all kinds of people, right? And we
Are you the bouncer there?
I'm a bouncer.
Someone, I will tell you that right now.
We're hiring if you want to come bounce.
Yeah.
We play good cop, bad cop, me and my sister, like she's the nice one and I'm like usually the mean one, but don't piss her off because she's like we also call her Dalton from Roadhouse. She drives a white Mercedes. She'll beat your ass if you if you don't pay her tab. She's kicking you out the door.
Dalton from the
Roadhouse. Yeah, buddy.
That's her.
Enforcer.
crazy.
You should take a look at my phone
Yeah.
just in case.
Why is it Brett's joining?
Yeah, I don't know if he like maybe texted and said, "Hey, I can't get on," or or there's a whole line. Okay.
Let's go. Let's see if there's a few questions there, and then we'll jump back into.
Yeah. Any questions for
Let's see
Leticia?
what we got here. Any chance you guys will be in Sturgis pre-rally? I mean, a couple of days before to go to our Clockworks pre-party.
We're going to be at the Corn Palace out in Mitchell, just hanging out with our friend Brian at Clockworks.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I've got someone knocking on my door.
No worries. Let's see. I've also been informed that Lance, you are not a time traveler because time travel begins with 10.2 trillion. You feel that? Anyway, it's a long one.
Well, thanks for the long one.
James says, Lance, his 88 miles per hour is exactly the perfect time for time travel. Do we have any questions? Let's see. I don't believe it. We got a lot of people asking us if we're going to Bike Week.
No.
In Laconia, but I think this year is the 100th year.
In Laconia.
Wow.
But yeah, that's like I said on here, we got Sturgis documentary in May, and then a couple trips between, and then back in Sturgis in August. So probably not this year.
And in October in Kentucky,
Yo.
Cave City.
Yes.
I just saw a dog in the background.
Yeah, that's Francie Joe. She just came up. She's a little border collie, and it's the first time I've seen her in a couple of days, so she's really excited to see me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say your son is your life's greatest work so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Completely. He is.
And is he going to follow your steps? Didn't you went to the University of Kentucky?
I did. He's not. College really isn't for him, and that's fine with me, So we talked about recently doing.
There's Mike in the background.
There's Mike in the background. We talked about recently doing a long distance motorcycle ride together. I was thinking of a way that we could.
Hey, Mike. He can say hi if he wants.
Also, Brett just tuned in, but so I'll beam him up in a few.
We're meeting them in Milwaukee.
Yes.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing good. We're in Springfield, Missouri.
That's what we hear. So are we going to do a little ride with you in October?
I would absolutely love that. Absolutely.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah. Have you guys been here?
No.
We've never. You guys are going to show us the stuff.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool town.
Yeah, I've been to the Derby a few times, but over in Louisville, but what a beautiful state.
Louisville's beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you break your finger? What did I just see on your finger?
No, look at that.
A dog bit him.
Oh.
I was trying to rescue a dog and it bit me, and so I've had 2 surgeries.
Oh,
no
man.
way.
One was to clean up an infection, and then the other one was to clean up scar tissue.
Oh,
wow.
Geez.
When you just don't realize how important it is to bend your finger,
Well, you can't pick with one hand, can you?
And this is my throttle hand, man.
You shaved your beard off.
I know, I did. Look at that. I know.
Whoa.
Now she's just trying to figure out whether or not she's going to stay with me.
Is it hard to pick with just one hand?
Yeah, with one hand and no beard.
Yeah, there you go.
It's confusing.
That's awesome.
I'm confusing everybody.
They
No,
want
you-
Yeah.
What's that?
they want to come down and ride in Columbia, and I was telling everybody.
Oh,
no,
you
no,
would
no.
love it. Oh, we'd love to host you guys and show you around.
That'd be great. I mean, there's so much stuff to do.
Oh, yeah, we can figure it all out.
Yeah, I think we'd like to try and get out there the first week of October.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Because we all have the same vibe. I mean, I saw your Instagram, the 2Lane.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
we all like the same thing.
You're exactly right. I mean, that's one of the things that Tish and I connected on was small town America, back roads, and I mean, Lord knows she's done. What have you done? Like 20 iron butts?
Oh, not that many. About 3 officials, but like
She did 3 official iron butts.
Well, she's done more than
Like-
3.
I've done a bunch, but half the time just keeping the records is annoying. So I just like
Yeah.
I just like to
Yeah.
ride. You know.
I mean, that's kind of what we have done iron butts, but we haven't done any official.
No, we just do it because we're doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the most I've
So-
ever done in a day is like 600. So I'm not even in the ballpark.
Well, do you guys have some kind of thing going on in the town you're in for the
Yeah.
day? Or
I'm filming here. In this area for the next 10 days.
oh wow,
Yeah, and so this is our first night out on the road. We're in Springfield, Missouri, and it's actually a really neat town.
oh yeah, Route 66.
You're exactly
I know,
right.
I
You knew
know.
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew about it. Yeah, they
We've
say,
been right through
We
it.
actually stayed in Springfield.
yeah. No, it's really cool. I'm enjoying it. I love the architecture, and
Bridges are awesome.
there's something about like Missouri, Kansas border. You know, the towns. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you know, the plains, and I mean, it's just really cool. The landscape, the topography, everything's different, and the people are different too. The temperament, and the way people made money here was different too. I mean, you're starting to get into the the gateway to the West. It's pretty cool.
Right.
well the cool thing is we did the entire Route 66, and when we got into Missouri, we all were like, wow, this is incredible. It
Yeah.
really kind of blew our mind.
I think to the person, it was our favorite state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we hit it just at probably the right time too, because it's a little bit inclement. There was some little bit of color changing, and it was just spectacular. The roads that we were on out there were just amazing.
See these 2 books right here? Route 66.
there you go. Hey, you know what? On Route 66, I can't think of the name of the town. I think I was in Missouri. There's an Airbnb that you can stay in that was a Bonnie and Clyde house for a long time.
I've seen that.
Yeah, they stayed in that house for over a month. It was the only place they ever stayed for an extended stay.
Wow.
They actually shot and killed 2 police officers that came up onto the house that thought they were bootleggers, and
Wow.
and so the house basically it's like a guest house above a garage. It's intact the way it was. I mean, it's pretty. I slept with the lights on all night. I slept with
Yeah,
the lights on all night. I'm telling you, because you're reading this book and then you realize that like the room that you're in is where a lot of stuff took place, and it was really interesting. I mean, to me, for $75, it's like $300 worth of fun.
Right.
See, we have to go there again because we're going to be riding Route 66 on its 100th year anniversary.
Yeah,
Because I'll be 66. He was born in 1966. So
In
we got to
November.
do it.
that's perfect. When
But
is it? This summer?
No,
it's 4 years away. But
Oh,
we're,
okay.
we're doing some segments right now. We were talking about this earlier, where we're not showcasing any of us really. It's more about the town owners and the restaurateurs and historians. We did a stretch from Seligman to Oatman,
Okay.
and we just tried to really showcase how incredible Route 66 is. And these guys are down like 80% in revenue because no travel.
Yeah.
And I mean,
for a long time,
Yeah.
we're trying to do a historic overlay, the National Trust for Historic Preservation,
Mhm.
was
Yep.
to do an overlay on that where they can't tear down a lot of the old motels. They can't take signs down, all of that. So I don't know where they're at with that, but a lot of that stuff is rapidly disappearing. Tish and I, we're traveling through not too long ago on a town that, do you remember the name of the town?
Tucumcari.
Tucumcari. There was a
Yeah, we've been there.
motor. It was called a motor lodge because
Cactus Motor is.
yeah, you could actually each room had its own garage.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was what was it made of, stone or?
Yeah, it was stone, but now it's an O'Reilly's.
Yeah,
auto parts.
O'Reilly's bought it
And tore it
and
down.
tore it down.
Oh,
Oh,
no
man.
way.
And we were like, look at this, it's so cool. And I stole a curtain. It was an
She's
old,
like, come in here, and I'm like, I'm not getting in there. I can't. There's no B&E here, man.
it was an old Western like cowboy curtain. And we stopped at this other place down the road, and they're like, yo, O'Reilly's bought it, it's about to be torn down. I'm like, well, I'm glad I stole the thing.
Yeah,
It was
so
like,
she had it framed. It was really
So
cool.
it's
Back
gone?
back to your Bonnie and Clyde story. That's really why we like being on the 2 lanes, because that was really how people traveled back then, via car. And so you get into these towns and you find all this history of all these movie stars or entrepreneurs that came through. And you don't get that when you're driving 100 miles an hour on the I-40.
Right.
Absolutely. Another great 2-lane road to travel too is the Lincoln Highway.
Yeah.
I got familiar with that just because of its sections that went through Iowa, and all these places hold a lot of transportation history because there's a lot of old car dealerships, there's old gas stations that are being repurposed into different things. And a lot of them, are unfortunately falling down. So when you think about, transportation history in America, people automatically, obviously they're drawn to the vehicles.
Mhm.
But what about the places that sold the vehicles? Because so many from, the architecture, the people that work there, it's really neat. And I think a lot of these roads, these roadsides still hold these places.
Well, the awesome thing about that, and we learned this on our Seligman run to Oatman, we didn't realize how big the Santa Fe trains had influence on all these towns.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, steamers could only go so far. And
Right.
They have to, but it's been a fun run. We actually had the Tucumcari. We had an entrepreneur hoteler from there, or moteler, reach out and wanted us to do a series on the hotels and motels. They need the business right now without.
Yeah, what her and I really love, and a lot of these small towns is the supper clubs.
yeah.
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 I mean, a lot of that stuff's paid.
Yeah. That would be, and that's not an out west thing. Isn't that more of a northern thing?
Yeah, but I mean, even like when you started getting into the gateway to the west, like when you talk about Tucumcari, that one place, remember I sent you pictures of that I was at, like that kind of like just really dark, moody lighting, steakhouse. It was really cool. I mean,
Red leather chair.
and the neons, man. I mean, you put neon on any street, and it all of a sudden becomes a beehive, man. Everybody's
Right. I mean, that's
you
the Harvey House wasn't what you're describing now. The Harvey House was more of a big, that kind of like turned into like a chain, right?
Well, there were multiple.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that property, but I think in Tucumcari, I did eat somewhere, and that's when I ended up staying in that place. I mean, it was pretty neat, man. I mean, I stay a lot of places. We travel through a lot of small towns, and that one really left a mark on me. I mean,
well, there's nothing like the dim, dark, red leather booth and a
yeah,
nice
exactly.
steak, man.
Exactly.
Well, we need to do a trip. We need to get you guys on your bikes, and we need to go do something really cool.
I know. I need to get a bike newer than 1957.
I always feel like such a squid riding next to him, because here I am on my like 2017 Dyna, and he's on like this hand shifter. fucking,
32.
God, look at my phone.
Did you
Someone
say
just called.
squid, Leticia?
yeah, I feel like a squid. I ain't no squid.
So
But I
I've
feel
not
like-
heard that. I've not heard that from a
I never heard
country.
that one either.
I've only heard that from the East Coast Rhode Island people, where they've called us squids.
Oh, really?
She might have heard that at Laconia or something.
No, that's what you call like dirt bikers that weren't very great. I don't know. You just like you're.
It's like a goonie rider that's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
know
want a
that
hot
wasn't
wedding?
a thing, so I'm not cool.
Is Brett?
Yeah, Brett's chilling.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Wait, I'll show you our little mascot.
there he is. Yeah, we met him out in Wisconsin. Look at him go.
He's still hanging, man. That's Francie Joe Wolf.
Yeah, Francis Joe Wolf.
Yeah, look at him.
He's like, why the hell did you pick me up? You've never picked me up before, ever.
Don't bite him.
No, I know, right? I tell you what, what was funny? My daughter, she was there when we were trying to rescue this dog. The dog jumped out of a vehicle and it was hanging itself.
Oh.
So we were, and it was 14 years old, and we're trying to get it loose. And I was getting bit, and right afterwards, she goes, "Daddy, next time you get bit by a dog," she goes, "push your hand down its throat. Don't pull
I've
it
heard
off,
that.
because then you'll choke it. If you keep pulling like you were pulling, you're just going to injure yourself more." And I was like, I go, "Why didn't you say that then? Like when it really counted, when it really truly mattered,
Well, the instinct is to pull, but I've heard if you push, they let you go.
Yeah, they're pushing, you're choking them instead.
Yeah.
So anybody out there and the internet,
The more now.
if you're
We're offering service tips on how to get out of a dog bite.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the description.
You're gonna let Brett in?
Yeah. I'll jump in.
Bye.
I gotta go, guys.
Brett
I'm meeting
from
my
Bill
crew.
Hey,
Hey, thanks for jumping in for a few minutes, Mike.
and
Yeah,
can't wait to see you again.
No, man, it was good to see you guys too. Hopefully, we can do a ride on 2 lanes.
Absolutely.
Make it happen. And without further ado, we got Brett from Bell Helmets. What up?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Kisha, where's my kiss? Where's my smooch?
I ain't seen you in forever. We live on
Hey.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I miss all you guys. It's been a minute, since we got to be together. But how you guys all doing?
Good. I know. I miss you. I've been meaning to come to Ohio. Right.
We're far away. We're literally 5 hours away right now.
I know. We saw each other more when we lived like on each coast of the fucking U.S.
Yeah, when none of us lived where we would see each other, yeah, we saw each other more.
I know.
Hey, Brett, what do you do for a living? What's behind you?
What's behind me?
Yeah.
I got here. I'll show you. It's some of my helmet collection.
If you can't tell, Brett is from Bell Helmets.
I know.
Let's see, he's got a few.
Yeah, we got a few. It's all good. We got a ping pong table too if you want to play ping pong.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
There you go.
So where are you at again, Brett?
I'm up in Cleveland, Ohio. Is where I'm
I
at.
know.
Yeah. Bell is based out of Northern California, but I'm based in Cleveland, Ohio for the last few years.
Gotcha. And you have known Leticia for a long time as well.
Yeah. We have actually. We go way back. We've done some fun projects.
Brett kept me awake. Listen, let me tell you another story. So there's the buffalo story, and then there was the story of I had a really crazy abscess tooth that tried to kill me, and I was on bed rest for a while, and I had cancer and all that. So I came out of it, and it was like 4 weeks, and I had a race. So I was super weak, and we were in Portland or wherever, Salem, Oregon. And
Yeah.
I did the one moto show race, and I hit a wall. So I had a concussion, and I couldn't go to sleep. And I was like, how am I going to stay awake? And so everyone rallied. And I remember texting Brad, I was like, you got to come down here and help me, because everyone was drinking and I couldn't drink. And I was like, they're all annoying. He was like, okay. And he came down and he helped, he just kept everybody awake and me awake. So he saved
I thought they're there to support our athletes and have a good time. And the next thing I know, I'm worrying about, her dying, and completely changed the perspective of everything. But yeah.
But
Did I hear you say you hit the wall, Leticia?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to bring up.
I hit a wall and a pole, I think.
So you didn't turn left, is what you're saying.
Pictures of her bike blasting through the wall. We can go back and dig it up. That was probably one show 20,
I don't remember.
I don't know, 17.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with years, but something like that.
So I don't want to let it slide a little bit. Leticia, talk about cancer and what you battled with there.
Oh, it's just I had cervical cancer, and it was an aggressive form, and I went through that. I got it at the same time that I could that Harley signed me on for flat track, so I didn't really talk about it until I had procedure, and then I talked about it. But everything's good now, and I've had great, check my wellness checks every year are good, and So, you know, but it was, you know, it was a lot to overcome. I mean, it was like a tooth, cancer, and a buffalo that tried to take me out. I'm still here, so I feel kind of great about that.
You're a survivor. You're a tough chick.
I said it earlier. You, the three ladies, don't take any shit.
No, not at all.
She's rough.
But yeah, at that race in Oregon, I guess, so I was on a pickle tracker. It was rolling sands. And everyone told me, like, you're not riding the pickle tracker, are you? And I'm like, why? And they're like, it tries to kill everybody. And I was like, all right, well, we'll see how it does. And it did great in practice. And then right before I go out to race, I don't even remember now if it was the heat race or whatever. So it started sputtering out. And I'm like, that's all right. And so it just throttle locks. And I'm going like too fast. And I look at the wall, which you're not supposed to do. And I'm like, I'm going to hit the wall. Because I couldn't like push the bike down. I was super weak and I couldn't push the bike down. And I hit the fucking wall, and then I bounced into a pole, and then I'm down on the ground. Like, but here's the best part. Let me tell you this part. So I had a guy from Rolling Stones magazine doing a story on me. He was following me. And then my friend from Ducati, Nathan Verdugo, was there, and they rode with me in the ambulance. And these guys, the ambulance workers, just cut my gear all up. So my boobs are flying out. And I'm like, all right, we're all going to get to know each other, I guess. You know, like, it was just the most awkward moment in my, you know, career. So, but got past that, and then went to 4 days later and went to Milwaukee for Mama Tried and rode around on the track there, and rest is history.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome. And you're talking to an awesome person there with Brett as well. And I know you know that, but Brett's actually gotten us helmets to donate. And we've donated them to the armed forces and some
Firefighter Cancer Support Network.
Cancer. We've been able to have them in their silent auctions, you know, pick up some money, and it's all on Brett's dime there. We thank you for that.
Thanks, Brett.
And so do the servicemen and women, our recipient.
That everyone wants to get back to talking about boobs. So let's do
No, they don't.
No, I'm kidding. No, but it's honestly like, Leticia's a hardcore motorcyclist, and we, you know, we don't just jump on the bandwagon of, you know, whatever's trending. Like, she's legit, and we try to support what's legit, and then the charitable causes that you were just talking about as well, obviously. But no, we try to keep it real.
Well,
And you do.
And you do.
And what's great about it is that you work for a company that produces literally the best product out there. And I can't say that enough. There's nothing. Well, I tested it, right? I mean, my helmet actually was cracked. It did exactly what it was supposed to.
No, you've tested a bunch, and even Mike, you know, and with his vintage stuff that he's hopping on, that's, you know, Calamity Jane out there, him safe too. But and then these two guys, you know, from the podcast, have. I'm not going to lie, they've put it on the ground a few times. So
yeah,
the two.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, is like when I first met Mike, he was with some fucking thing he grabbed out of a barn, bubble helmet, you know, like ran around in that, you know, half face. And I was like, you're not open face, you're not wearing that. And so I remember I reached out to you, and we got him a couple of helmets, and now that's all he wears, you know, and you know, it's just so important. I don't think that people think about it. Like, people want to just seem cool, but like, being safe is also cool. And you guys do create cool helmets, and we want to be able to do this forever, right? I mean, that's the whole point of it. So like,
I've been wearing Bell helmets for 50 years.
Yeah.
I'm 55, and I started riding when I was 4.5, 5 years old, and I had a 3/4 Bell that was a blue with it, and that was back in like the 70s.
Yeah.
So it was I should have kept that damn thing. I probably could sell it as a collector's item, but I've been wearing Bell for 50 years. I just looked at that. Wow.
I've been wearing Bell the whole time, been riding. My son's been wearing Bell, and you know, it's great.
Yeah, it is. It's just educating people on stuff. You know, I mean, I have people like my own father who obviously knows what I do for a living. And he's like, helmets are only so you can have an open casket. But he's from the old generation that doesn't get it, you know. But just
I grew up that way too.
Yeah.
Her generation, to explain to them, like, look, you bang your head with a helmet on, you're probably going to be okay. but you bang your head without it, and you're probably gonna die. And
Right.
you know.
Yeah. No, I know. Well, my sister's the idiot. Like she was, I don't know. She rides a Hayabusa.
Oh,
Oh, geez.
Wheel.
I see what
I don't know what those. It's like the long wheel with the bigger tires. So she's got this like big kit. Like everybody like loves. When she gets way more attention on that thing than I do. But, anyway, so she was right. She just like was riding, a few miles down the road. She's like, I'll just hop on it, and she hit someone had mowed, and it was a bunch of wet grass on the road, and immediately went down and hit her head. And she's luckily okay, but it was that whole thing of just a couple of miles, no helmet.
Yeah. You're smoked immediately. You're just boom, done.
Well,
and this
one
is
of
my
the things
maker right here. I can't be messing this up.
Well, my son went to the Bell facility in Northern California with Kurt Caselli,
Yeah.
and they got the whole tour of how they test the helmets and all the different things. And he came back and goes, Dad, I mean, they really go through a process in testing. And he goes, I saw it. So that's why I'm really confident about.
I mean,
the
we
brand.
feel weird sometimes, like in Sturgis, we'll take the helmets off and ride somewhere.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like,
You're
it just feels
you're
awkward.
profiling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We feel naked, but riding naked is kind of fun.
Oh, you gotta
Being
get
I've
naked.
never done that.
I mean, full naked.
profiling.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been to the Bell facility too. What's the coolest is when they size your head, because I have some horns right here that sometimes come out. So they measure for that, and then you get a custom fit. I don't know if you guys still do that, Brett, but like carbon fiber, kind of like shaped to your head.
You're among the special people, so let's not talk about that too much. But okay.
Well,
It's just
I
because I
don't know
got
about you, but when I ride in full naked,
I'm
I
so
do I have the backless chaps.
you're pumped that we got to connect, and whatever I can do to help you guys in your rides this year, absolutely. And Leticia, obviously we talk all the time, so whatever we can do to pump you, so give me a holler.
I will.
Well,
Sounds
we're
good.
going to be
Hey.
doing a trip. We're going to go see Leticia. We're going to go to her place, check it all out, do some riding with her. So that's going to be great.
And before
Well,
you leave, Brett, are you doing any of the brawls this year? You're going to be at any of them?
I mean, I kind of am that thing, but yeah, but we'll be out there. But if you're coming out to see Leticia, I'm not that far from her, so I'd hope you come by and stay in my house and have a good time with us too. But yeah, no, hit us up. We're out and about.
Okay.
Right on.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to
Cheers.
see you.
Later on. All right.
Awesome. Well, there's been a lot of people on today. Mike came on. You didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah,
All
that
right,
was
little
great.
feature.
We love it.
So we had a couple interesting comments. There was a dude from Texas, and he was like, I opened the live, and the first thing I heard was boobs were out, so I'm in. And then Franklin says, I just turned on, and the first thing I hear is riding naked. So cheers from Hawaii. Looks like we're keeping it interesting on this one.
Gotcha.
Well, I just want to say that was literally the weirdest moment in my life, because I've got this story that I was like, this is going to be awesome. And Rolling Stones, and then the the people, the EMTs, like just cut. Well, I was really mad because I had just bought that armor underneath my body, and so they just cut it, and it unzips. But then it's like, there I am, and just fully exposed, and like, well, we're gonna get to know each other real quick, boys. And I better get a Ducati out of this.
What did you do? What was that thing you did? You had a post where you did a plaster of your chest.
Oh yeah, so that was breast cancer awareness, and it's oh my gosh, I can't think of the name right now just because I'm drawing a blank. But I think it's Save the Boobs or something. But anyhow, they asked me to join, and they did a canvas of it, and then we paired with artists, and these amazing artists painted them, and then they were auctioned off, and it went towards the charity that helps people that are dealing with breast cancer awareness.
Keep abreast.
Keep abreast.
Keep abreast. Yes, thank you so much. I was drawing a blank there, but
Josh did a little research and found it for you.
thank you so much. And there's a woman that I've never met, and she's in the motorcycle industry too, Felicia, out in California. I don't know if you know her. She was actually misdiagnosed, and And then she's went through tons of chemo and lots of things, and she
Oh,
was a
my
model, motorcyclist, and all of that. But anyway, I'd never met her, and I've followed her for a long time, and so I dedicated my cast to her. And so
Wow.
Nice.
Brett had done some things for her and her recovery too. It was cool to get back.
Misdiagnosed.
Crazy.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
babies are making their rounds.
Jesus.
So are you on the city council right now, or are you going to have another election coming up?
I'm on city council. It's my first term. The next race coming up this year is mayor and council. And I have 99% chosen to run for mayor. I still have time
Wow.
for a file. I just live in a small town. You know, I own a bar. What I think is cool is that I got elected on council, and I'm a motorcyclist. I'm tattooed. I own a bar. I'm naked online, and I still made it. So
That's because you're a badass.
I don't know. Maybe I just scared them, you know. But the thing is like the next way I can change my town is really to go to that step. My whole lifestyle would have to change a little bit because being a mayor is a bigger commitment, and I'm ready for that, and I love it, you know, and I would sacrifice a lot for the people in my community. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking of doing towards the
Are you going to be mayor when we come to visit you, or are you going to still won't be at that time?
I'll be running for mayor, so y'all better have damn flags on the back of your bikes.
Oh, we will.
Mayor.
Whatever you need.
Absolutely.
Send them over.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So you've been an author as well. What have you written about, and how many pieces have you written?
A lot. And so I love writing. I've written my whole life, but I didn't know if I could do anything with that, you know. And one day I was like, I'm just going to try it. And I sat down and I wrote a list of all these publications that I wanted to be in. It was mostly motorcycle and travel publications. And then I just started like emailing them, and I was like, here's a story I've written, or here's stories I've written. Do you have an idea of something that you want to cover? And I can write a story about it. And by the end of the year, I'd written for all of them except for National Geographic. I was a little aggressive with that, like, reach there. but you know, and I realized then, and you know, you don't get paid a lot. It's like, you know, a couple $100 here for an article and whatnot. And so I was like, but it allowed me to travel. They would send me on assignments, and I got to write about what I love. So mostly motorcycling or travel, USA, from anything from USA Today to you name it, any of the publications that's out there for motorcycling, and a lot of European magazines too, and newspapers and whatever I can write a story for. You know, it's just telling the story. It's what you guys do with your show. You want to tell a story, and I was like, how do I tell that story? And I can do it through words, and so that's what I did.
Well, we have a desk here for you, and it'd be great if once a month you came out and did some blogs with us. We're a little behind on that.
I don't think that's her cup of tea, but I like what you said, and you've said it a couple times today. And I think if people listen closely and learn from you, there's nothing like perseverance. You walked up to Harley's doorstep, you wrote the publications you wanted to be in, and you went after it. And people say, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything in this world. But I don't think a lot of people always believe that.
Yeah.
And what you're saying today is you believed it, and by God, you're getting it done. And it's amazing.
You are getting it done.
So you've authored pieces, I saw you get shot in a movie scene.
I saw you shoot in the movie.
I forgot about that. That happened. Let me tell you how that happened. I pulled up to this local Mexican restaurant on my motorcycle, and I was wearing the outfit that I'm wearing in the movie. And I jumped. So they have this thing where you have to go inside to the other side, and I hate that, to get on the patio. So I always jump the fence. And I jumped the fence, and the entire crew, the whole production team was there. And they're like, who are you? And I was like, I'm just Leticia.
I'm Wonder Woman.
I'm Leticia. And they're like, we're doing this motorcycle movie. I was like, sick. I was like, if you need help with stunts, because I did some stunt work, I was like, if you need help with stunts or anything, please let me know. And they're like, well, we'd possibly like you to be in the movie. And so they ended up writing me into the movie. And I was in it the whole time, and which was cool. And Guy Pearce is in it, which is like cool. And the guy from Final Destination, and and it was in my hometown or the town next to it. And I didn't get to ride a motorcycle though. I was Trixie, and I got to drive the getaway van and shoot people and hold people hostage in banks. And
You were a mean lady.
hell yeah.
I just put a story up a couple of days ago, but I read something. It's a poem. I think Debbie Lee. It's called The Dash.
Oh, I love that.
And
poem.
have you read that one?
I haven't read
and
it in a long time.
Yeah, you're living that dash.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I love that, because that's what we try to do, is not sit behind and pout, and when
Yeah.
times are tough, we don't fold. We stand up and we push, and we're living that dash as well. And it's great to hear your stories about it.
You know, and people say, you know, wow, are you guys retired? You're just living the life, you know, but we've created this and we're not retired. We're working our butts off, but we have this goal and this passion of travel, and we're not stopping no matter what.
And we've got a son that hangs out with two old farts every day.
So our families are telling us, you guys need to we've been riding for 10 years together. So they're like, you go to these incredible places, you tell these great stories. Why don't you put them up on YouTube? So Galen and I get a computer and we're like, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
And the first day we start trying to edit, we're like, no. And then a guy's like, let me show you. And we're like, we're not doing this. So we walk over to Thrashin's warehouse and we asked Rob, he worked there, and he's like, hey, who do you know that edits? He goes, oh, I have this friend, Josh, check him out. We called him. The next day he came in here. 2.5 years later, he's been with us every day ever since. He's 24 years old, and he's like this old soul that loves adventure. And he rides. And he rides great.
We've talked about, we commonly use the word fate.
Yeah.
Because it just, things have fallen into place, and it's not for lack of hard work, but we had the stars have aligned many times.
He flies,
it's just crazy.
He flies drones. He films off the side of his bike. I mean, and we've learned to film off the side of it. So like we have this little crew of these guys that have fun, and it's awesome.
I love that. I love that. That's the best thing. It's all about your crew and who you're with and what you're doing. Make sure everything like works together, you know?
Yes.
And people that live the lifestyle. It's one thing. It's like, you know, people that, if you don't understand it, if you're not doing it, if you're not riding, then you're not living the same thing, you know?
Well, I just wonder when you sleep, because you got so many irons in the fire. What, like, are you on like a 2-hour a night thing or what?
Lately, since I started working for Legends, and this is no lie, because of city council and stuff, it's about 3 to 4 hours a night.
Yeah.
And I take disco naps through the day. And then I just inject my face full of Botox. And I'm just I don't, just a little bit. But it's literally like not a lot of time to sleep. Because you know what? It is all about the dash. And it's all about, at the end of the day, at the end of everything, all we have is these moments, right? And that's it. Like all these little moments mount up to a really cool, amazing ride and journey. And, you know, and it takes a big step to, you know, venture out and do what you want to do. And I love that you guys do it. And you're an inspiration to people too, that look at that and like, I could never do this, but you can. Like you can.
I don't want to wake up in the morning and say, I wish I tried that.
Right.
I want to try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And just so you know, anyone that's out there that said they just jumped into the show or whatever, I mean, this live will be embedded in YouTube forever. So if you want to go back and watch it, you can.
And for those that are on there, check out the description. We got Leticia's website, Instagram. I'll put the YouTube up on there, all that other stuff, and you can find a bunch of stuff on our website. So I'll tell you one thing. I was looking to do the title for this, and I was like running out of characters. Author, model, actress, this, that, and the other. So good stuff.
Yeah. And writer, and we get to go ride with her.
Right.
Yeah. That's the best thing, is I feel like that has been the thing that's connected every bit of my life story, you know, is my motorcycle. So
yes.
And you know, it takes me to so many places, and it's given me the courage to do so many things. And I'm just grateful for my dad that taught me how to do that and how to not listen to what the norms were telling me and be a somebody and not somebody's.
Well, you know what's really cool is we're going to be on a trip with her. We're going to catch footage of all of us riding together and get some pictures of all of us hanging out. So the memories will be forever.
Yes. And I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Are there any causes that you're akin to that we can support?
God, you know what? Lately, my causes in the past few years has been different fundraisers that I've held in my own hometown.
Gotcha.
So, like I've really focused on stuff like a new playground, which we did do last year for the citizens, and the kids didn't have a walkable playground or park, so we did that. And I don't know. If you follow me, I'll probably have something that I'll jump on and want to support and promote. We also had the tornadoes. I don't know if you guys remember the tornadoes that went through in December. My town got hit, but the town that I went to school at in Bowling Green was really bad, and then Mayfield was horrible, and they still are. They are completely, it's like something you wouldn't even recognize. So if you ever see anything where someone needs something in those areas, Mayfield, Dawson Springs, Bowling Green, Kentucky, try and help those people out because they're going to need it for a few more years.
Okay. Maybe what we'll do is when we do our trip with you, we'll do a destination shirt about the trip that we were on.
Yeah.
And we'll do the proceeds of the shirt or a percentage of them to that area that you're talking about.
I'd love that.
And that's some way to give back. We can come enjoy the town and then give back.
That would be amazing.
We did that with Brett Quinlan. He rode 4,800 miles, and he had grown his hair out for 4 years.
Right.
And he came in studio, and we cut his hair off here. We did
wigs for kids.
Had a stylist come in.
Wow.
And it was donated with wigs for kids, and we ended up donating. We had that night probably another $400, $600 plus T-shirt sales. So they ended up with about $1,500.
Wow.
So we'll
Which
do the
isn't
same.
Huge, but at least we're thinking
huge.
about it. Yeah.
Every little bit adds up to a lot.
And what we'll do is after we do our trip, we'll have you come back on the live, and then we'll say, hey, we have this available, and it was from our trip. It's a piece of history, and all the donations that we have from it will go to whatever you tell us it goes to.
He raised over almost 10,000 with our stuff and him traveling. And I want to say, I think the wigs for the kids are like $400 a piece or something. So
I think even more.
is it more than that? But we want to make sure we give back too, not just take.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We love everybody.
Well, we love you too.
Yes.
Well, we've had you for about an hour and 10. Are you okay? You guys should probably get together since you haven't seen Mike for a little bit, the dog.
Eat some
any parting comments you would like to address?
Just thank you so much for doing just what I've said. Thank you so much for doing what you guys are doing. Keep doing it. Keep inspiring people. Keep telling our stories in these small towns. It's really, important and valuable. And I don't think that you realize how big of an impact that you're having, but I want you to know that it is. And I really appreciate you having me on, and I'm grateful for that. And I can't wait to see you guys in October.
Yeah,
Yes.
We'll get that planned, and we'll definitely fly some flags with vote for Leticia.
Damn right.
You better bring in a crew and everybody have it.
So yeah, we'll be in touch with you all through this from here to then, and keep you in the loop of what's going on. But
and tell Mike thanks for jumping in. That was nice of him to do that.
Yeah, we love you. We love your time on the show, and
so we're gonna say see you down the road. We'll do 3, 2, 1, and we'll throw our finger. Can you help us with that?
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
So hey, thanks again for everything. We'll be in touch. And 3, 2, 1, we'll see you down the road.
See you down the road.
Later. And now it's just you two. Tell these beautiful people of the internet what they need to do.
Well, we told them in the beginning, show them our new shirts.
Yes. And the patches. Might as well show the patches too. We actually had date what?
Oh.
Well, we had the patch from Darren and Jenny.
Back up.
It's not gonna I'm
Don't
on
go
spot
too
focus
far.
right now.
You got to stay right here.
Yeah, I gotta go back there.
There, it's good, perfect focus. And
See,
you can
Darren
see
and
it
Jenny
great.
dropped off a patch from Essex. There you go. Yep, it's on there.
Look at that. That's our new Endless 2-Lane
The
shirt.
Endless 2 Lanes. A 2LaneLIVE Productions
Pick
shirt.
one up today.
A couple really cool patches.
Oh, Right over here, Galen.
Yes, but I'm in a.
You got the challenge coins. We got this one was that Stephen Polikov from Melrose?
I'll be right
That's-
back because I'm thirsty.
He's thirsty. All right.
You heard it first. He'll be right back because he's thirsty. Anyway, what a great show. I'm glad you guys were there. And again, you can tell your friends or people if they want to see this and get to know who Leticia is, you can watch it. It's going to be up on YouTube the second we're gone. So, go for it.
Tell your grandma, your
I gotta
friends,
tell
your
you, that was
sisters.
so cool.
Leticia, you rock.
Such an inspiration, and that was great.
Yes.
So happy that she agreed to do that with us.
Yes. So the new shirts are on our website right now. Go pick yourself up one. You'll dig it.
So we got a patch from Steve.
Microphone's way
Mike.
back here.
Oh, yes.
Mic check. Yep, they hear that.
So Steve and Amy Hansen, thank you so much for welcoming us into your studio and taking the time to chat. We know how long you guys are creating amazing content for us to watch, learn, and enjoy. Keep up the great work. Here are a couple patches and poker chip from the new B-21 bomber project at Edwards Air Force Base. Lance, we hope for a speedy recovery. See you down the road.
Yeah.
So that's cool. They're up on the wall. This one's a little bit harder to read, but Steve Polikov sent us some firefighter patches and coins from New York City. Look at these bad boys.
Yo.
So we'll put those in our clear bags.
We might have to
and,
put that
them up
whole
on the
thing in a
wall.
frame and put that sucker on the wall.
Yeah, that's
Might
a
need
good
some
idea.
bigger walls, but
Might do that.
And we got
Yeah.
a patch from a police officer today. What was his name?
Darren,
Darren.
that was from when he was in the UK or Britain. I think he said, did he say Britain?
He said UK.
Yep, somewhere in the UK. And he was an officer there now, and then he came out here and was an officer for a while, and now he does real estate.
So we have
And
our
Smoking
first
Stats.
Yep.
Gave us
smoking
Kavina-
sets.
He is smoking stats. Is it Sats or Stats? I don't know. if we
Sats,
get
I
it right
think.
all the time, but a Joker LAFD Kavina patch, which is really cool.
But I was going to say we have our first patch from overseas.
Yeah.
I think, right?
I think that might be our
Might be.
first.
And then
one.
we got a really cool Army patch, Velcro on the back, so it was newer uniform. So he said, "My apologies for sending out so late. We got caught up in the field. This is a second infantry division patch, which I wore on my uniform with the second Stryker Brigade Combat Team,
Nice.
based out of a Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington. Thanks for the patch and decal." So we sent him some stuff. You guys are an inspiration to the culture and making America great again, 2 lanes at a time. Looking forward to everything you guys have in store for us. The wife, kids, love you and love you and watch you every chance we get. Thanks again, gents. See you down the road. Pretty cool.
Awesome.
Sergeant David Gerard.
Awesome. Send in your patches, everybody.
Yeah. But what a great live.
Great life, great show. What a good time. Thank you all for joining in.
And did you say they need to, you did that?
Well, I said subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell your friends, but I didn't say if you don't, you're fired.
Did you say comment, smash the bell?
That's your job.
Oh, ring the bell, smash it, whatever you want to do. Thumbs up, like it, give us a comment.
Boom.
Laura, say hello.
Here she comes.
Thanks,
And
guys.
we will
See you down the road.
later. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah. Good night. We bid you all good night.